what is a crime under the law changes as time goes on. Sometimes in the past, certain activities were crimes. Horse stealing. While it's still possible to steal a horse in New York, it's probably not highly likely. The replacement for that, in terms of certainly volume, is car theft. But what is a crime is dependent a lot on the sensibilities of the people and the times that the decisions are made to create a crime. For example, most recently in New York State, they've created a new crime called strangling. Now, if you take somebody and you choke them and hurt them, you've actually committed some species of an assault. And the level of the assault depends on how much of an injury you have created. So it's really more focused on the injury than the act of putting your hands around someone's neck or throat. The crime of strangling really arises out of concerns in the domestic violence arena and in witness intimidation, where there may not necessarily be an injury to the person, but the fear and the upset created by the act of strangling is now which is addressed by this crime. So, now there's both a felony and a misdemeanor level of a crime called strangling, even if ultimately there is not an injury that would ultimately rise to the level of something that would be called an assault. In a different arena, there is a new crime that is perhaps not fully enacted yet in Suffolk County, and that is a crime called picketing. There was to be a funeral in Shelter Island of a member of the United States military from Shelter Island who lost his life in the war in Afghanistan. There was a group from a church in Kansas who was going to picket the funeral because of their, by some people's take on it, extremist views that people who were in the military and died because of various sins that society commits as a whole. So, in light of the threat of picketing in Sag Harbor, this statute was enacted. Now, as it turned out, the picketing never occurred, and the statute, while it may still be on the books, was actually never used. That doesn't mean, however, that at some time in the future, this type of conduct won't be held to be a crime. So, crimes are largely dependent on the times in which they occur and the sensibilities of the people who are affected by them.